to the days of the Civil War. We have the commander of the 1st Michigan Infantry Company B of the Jackson Grays, Jay Ford, and Junior Vice Commander of Austin Blair Camp Number 7, Sons of Non-Veterans of the Civil War, and more, Kim Horning. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's our honor to have you.
It's our honor to be here.
You are wearing your uniforms.
Yes, sir. And I've got one for you to try on.
One for me. Because
Yes, it's your rank within the 1st Michigan.
I am. I'm a what am I?
You're a captain.
Captain. I'm a captain.
Oh, come
All
on.
right. Got your mic cord
Oh.
here. Yeah, that's all right.
Oops.
I think this is my size.
We're going to find out.
Feels a little tight in the shoulders.
That's because
Jay?
you got big shoulders.
Oh, of course. Wow. Is this authentic uniform?
It's one of the best ones.
Wow.
But it's authentic would mean it's worth thousands and thousands of dollars, but it was designed by one of the sutlers here.
Is there a hat
Shows
that
it.
goes with it? Or what do you
Yeah,
call
I've got
it?
a
Is it
hat right here for you. Let's
Okay.
see how that looks.
You think this is my size too?
It better be.
Well, kind of. It's
You got a big
a
head?
little small.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we'll have to get you a new one. You can take that off then, Captain.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's a little small, but that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got plenty. Camp Blair has plenty of hats. If you ever want to fall in and carry a musket and shoot at the rebels.
Well, our viewers know about the Civil War muster, and so much of the war that we know about is because of the muster. But that's what you do as your organization. You want to preserve and protect the history of that war and other military history in our community.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
also on the Jackson Civil War Muster Board, so we're preserving that. Yay, it's come back after 4 years not happening, so it's the largest event in Michigan.
In the whole Midwest, I think, too.
It probably is,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, first let's talk about where we're sitting right now, Jay.
Okay, on April 15th of 1861, on the 3rd floor of this building, the Jackson Grays stood up, Captain Withington stood up and dedicated the entire unit of the Jackson Grays to go to battle. 3 days after Lincoln had asked for everyone to show up, and they were the Jackson Grays. Well, Jackson Grays were a militia unit from Jackson, and they had been formed 5 years before the actual Civil War was started. So these were well-trained, well-seasoned people. They had full uniforms, and they were able to fall in at Detroit, and within on May 1st of 1861, they were sworn in as the 1st Michigan Infantry Company B, and they were named the Jackson Grays, which was what Jackson's military militia unit had been called. So everyone who fell in under Company B was with the Jackson Grays.
Wow. Now, we didn't even anticipate the Civil War at that time.
No, we didn't, but Jackson was prepared because it was after the Mexican-American War, and we're borderline with Canada. So we had a militia here training once a month. You've seen a picture. They would meet, I'm sure maybe not in the wintertime, but they would drill all the time, and they
Wow.
were prepared.
That's why Abraham Lincoln, at the beginning of the war, reached out to Michigan to ask for a unit.
Well, Michigan and Jackson in particular, we provided a lot.
We were,
of-
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did.
I'm taking this out because I don't want
Yeah.
to. I don't want to
It's hot.
damage it.
Oh,
But
it
yes.
gets very hot.
It was actually, you told me before the show, it was Dr. Slater's.
Yes, yes.
Yes, wow. That's great. So we have some things coming up.
Okay. Yes. The big thing now, the 1st Michigan Infantry Company B was formed on April 15th, 11 years ago.
In this very building,
Well, in Jackson County.
in Jackson County.
In Jackson County. So the 1st Michigan Infantry Company B was reactivated, but for the sole purpose of helping take care of the monument,
Oh,
keep
okay.
it preserved. Because the Jackson Grays, that name was established in 2000 anyways, because it's history to Jackson. But Dr. Slater and I decided we needed to look after the monument. The city had done great jobs. Camp Blair had done great jobs on restoring it. But over time, they need more money.
Everyone's seen this monument and no one knows what it is.
Okay, it's right at Withington Park. It
was erected when?
Okay. Originally, it was supposed to be dedicated on May 30th, the year before, 1903. But there was a problem in transport of it, and the sculpture itself got damaged. So Captain Withington then died before the actual dedication of the monument, which was July 14th, which is Flag Day, which is fitting for the name, In Defense of the Flag. And because he had died, he missed out on seeing what this was, and it was planted right in his backyard. So right where the monument is where he used to, look out in his backyard, but he passed away before he could actually see it dedicated.
That was his backyard.
Yes. Yeah, his house. Yeah, his house was right where all the other war monuments are.
That's why the Jackson High School Stadium has always been Withington Stadium, because it was donated land.
He was a huge citizen in our community, besides being a Civil War hero.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he came back here. I learned that he had trained with the Boston Cadets. So when he came here to Jackson 5 years, the 5 years before, he then joined the Jackson Grays, which was formed in '59, and eventually he became an active captain. If you look at our Facebook page, we've got the pictures of him in uniform. Our website's kind of outdated, but our Facebook page now continually updates, and we keep our information out there for everyone to see what's going on actively.
And the military monuments, this is one. We have many.
Yes, yes. We've got Laura Evans, the one at Greenwood.
In the cemetery.
Yes, in the cemetery, right in the very front. You can see it as you drive by.
Yeah, because our camp is named after the governor at the time,
Austin
Blair.
Yeah.
And every year we go and do a dedication where he's buried at Mount Evergreen. So yeah, to preserve history.
Austin Blair's the only statue on the Capitol grounds in the front yard in Lansing.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Our first governor, our Civil War governor,
Right.
Jackson's
Yes. Oh, yeah.
governor.
Right.
Yeah, I read that he was right here when Lincoln declared on April 12th, when Fort Sumter was bombed, that he stood right here and claimed we needed people. And that's when 3 days later, Jackson Gray stood up and said, we're going.
We're here.
Even though we're here for Jackson Grays, one of my great-great-grandfathers, the reason he asked me and how I joined the Jackson camp, I've got great-great-grandparents from other states that fought in the Civil War, but for our Jackson heritage history, he didn't live in Jackson during the Civil War. He was from Ann Arbor, but he was in Company E of the 1st Michigan, so he was with Withington in the whole unit when they responded to Lincoln, and Lincoln then welcomed them when they went to Washington, and we're talking within weeks. And next thing you know, they're at Bull Run, and they're all captured, and he served, just like Withington, over a year in prison in POW camp. Of course, early in the war, prisoners were exchanged, and many returned and then re-upped. And he finished the war, and then he moved to Jackson. So even though I've lived in Jackson all my life, at least I know he lived in Jackson for a while, but he was part of the same unit that the Jackson Grays were part of.
I see, because I didn't understand why you were sons of non-veterans of the Civil War.
No, Sons of Veterans.
Sons of the veterans.
Yes,
Yes.
Sons.
It's Sons of Veterans.
Sons of veterans.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Now, the fundraiser. We're raising money so we can light this, preserve, clean.
Yeah, this
maintain.
is the 120th anniversary of the dedication, which was June 14th, and we're trying to raise money to make sure that we have solar-powered nighttime lighting. That was the first thing. Originally, we just wanted to make sure and have a perpetual fund to make sure it was maintained. The city can't absorb the costs and getting donations, but that's our primary goal. But now we need lighting. The lighting is not that expensive, so we're looking for help on getting solar power lighting in there, so it's cheap, it doesn't go off from the electrical grid, and then we want to have basic funds for maintenance. But then the other big thing right now is in working on grants for this, and then big donors if we can find them, installation of 8-foot fencing. Trying to keep it period looking. I don't know if we can have wrought iron fencing made, but it might be aluminum, but we're gonna have to have some kind of protection of the monument from vandalism, anything. The lighting originally was for cars, because I remember at one time somebody late at night drove their car into the monument. So by having lighting and people can't see it, it's very dark there at night.
All right, and is there going to be a ceremony?
I hope so. I mean, we're going to show up. A few of us will show up on 14th. But this is something this monument has been there a long time, and it's going to be there a long time. We're trying to raise money. We'll have a ceremony, of course, but the city, I will on Memorial Day be there trying to recruit and passing out stuff, because there is always a Memorial Day service right at the
That's right.
at the site. And Flag Day, I can't remember, maybe last year they had something, but hopefully we can have a yearly event for Flag Day, just you know, to honor the monument, you know, have some kind of services.
All right, here's the ways you can contact the Sons, the infantry, and their members. We celebrate the 120th anniversary of the dedication of In Defense of the Flag, the Soldiers and Sailors Monument in downtown Jackson. Guys, thanks for all the work you and your company are doing for our community, and thanks for being here today.
Thank you,
I
Mark.
appreciate it.
Good to see you. Am I doing
Captain.
that right? Captain, yes. Am I honorary captain or regular captain?
You're now a regular captain.
Regular
With what you're doing, you support us, yeah.
All right.
Everything's honorary, but like Kim, he does work, so he's a corporal who actually works. He will carry the flag, so if you want to help carry the flag on the 14th, show up. We'll make you a flag bearer.
I'll see if I'm here. Jay Ford and Kim Horning. Thanks, guys.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Bart.
Well, we're going to walk, roll,